I'd like to continue to play with this energy around the physical body and selfishness and relationship.
Good.
I hear you talk about mind and emotion or the emotions knowing when you're on track and when you're not on track with your essence.
Yes, because your emotion is your indicator of your vibrational content. And your vibrational content is your state of allowing or resistance.
So where does the body fall into that? In other words...
Before you go further, let us give one more piece that is very important, and something about the way you're asking this brings this to a new place. Your emotion, or your indicator of vibration, is indicating the ratio between your currently focused desire and any other belief or thought that you hold about saying. Now, let us stay there just for a moment. When you feel negative emotion, let's say you feel anger about something or fear, the name of the emotion does not matter. It always means that there is a desire within you that in this moment you are contradicting with some other thought. So your emotions are always about your relationship with your own desire and nothing else, which is good for a creator to know. In other words, it's not about the rightness or the wrongness of it in the scheme of greater things. It's not about God's attitude about same subject or that which you're wanting to call God. It is only about your relationship with your own desire. Those are the most significant words we've ever spoken, truly, yes.
So where does the body fit into this process? In other words, I can't feel emotion if I don't have a body to feel it in. And
well, you could feel it because it is a mixture of vibrations. So in the same way that you say, well, I need a nose to smell, we say, and yet the vibration that you describe as fragrance is known by us, even though we have no nose. You might say that I need eyes to see, and we say, even though the eye that interprets vibration, and that's why you see as you see, even though we do not have eyes, we understand vibrationally that which you are seeing. And so, technically, you do not need a physical body in order to discern emotion, because it is a vibration that is discernible. It's just that, like your nose smells and your eyes see, your solar plexus read connection or disconnection, allowing or resistance.
I guess that's what I'm speaking to, the solar plexus, or the tightening of the shoulders, or the clenching of the fist, or the curling of the toes, speaks to how the energy is flowing through. It's one of our mechanisms of sensing whether we're connected with Source or not.
Good.
I'm
connected with Source, and there's another important piece, don't leave out, in sync or not in sync with my own desire.
All right, which brings me to being selfish and how to maintain the vibration that I'm feeling now in relationship to others who would want me to change my behavior to facilitate their sense of being in joy or connection. In other words, that's always going on with us.
Yes.
Here. We have this dance of...
Yes, unless you are living all alone.
Exactly. So could you give me some ideas or suggestions about how to facilitate staying in that state when I'm in relationship with another person?
Here's the easiest way to hear it. Let's say that you have found yourself, without even knowing how you did it, to be perfectly selfish. And we mean that in the sweetest, most loving way. We mean you have discovered how to keep yourself in concert with your source energy by choosing thoughts, words, deeds that keep you in alignment. So you've found that place here with us. And then let's say that someone who is very influential in your experience needs you to do something different in order for them to be happy. So you, in your desire to please them, which is part of your desire too, you go there, and at first it's fine because you have enough resiliency, you have enough balance that it doesn't detract from your connection. And their experience seems to be enhanced which is not a departure from your desire, for you want their well-being too. And so you perform whatever it is that they ask of you, and everything's all right at first. And then they ask for something else, and they ask for something else, and they ask for something else, and somehow you didn't even realize when it happened, but now it feels like it's over the line, and it feels to you like it's your joy or mine. It almost feels like it's gone that way. But still, now, out of a sense of habit, and maybe out of a sense of duty or responsibility to the relationship, respect to the elder or respect to someone you love, you do. And now you are beginning to feel a little resentment every time you do it. Now what's actually happened is they're having a relationship with less of you than you were giving them before. And even though they think they're getting their way, because you are performing the task that they have assigned to you, in your resentment of it, there is but a shadow of who you really are present. And this is no gift to them. No matter how much you're doing for them, you are depriving them of all you've ever really had to give, which is the whole of yourself, you see. So the balance that you're always trying to find is, how far can I go in pleasing you and having the whole of myself be present? And if that's your dominant intent, in other words, as you go forth into relationships, no matter what it is, whether it's somebody you're going to spend the afternoon with, or somebody you're sharing an elevator with, or somebody that you've committed to for a longer experience, if the dominant thing that you will ask is, I want nothing more than to be fully connected with my source energy so that what I'm giving to you in this relationship is the most of me that I have to give. If there were marriage vows involved, the marriage vows that we would encourage you to offer is, I will give you all that I can give you while staying in perfect vibrational harmony with who I really am. And I will never give you anything that would take me from that, because I'm wanting to give you me, not stuff I might do. I'm wanting to give you the essence of me, you see. So that might translate out in simpler terms. We'll just play some silly games with it. Let's say someone has decided a long time ago that they don't buy Christmas presents. And they're very happy in that. And they are the only person that you've ever known that is actually joyful around the holidays, because they have not let themselves get into that bind of buying things for people that can never be pleased. And so that person doesn't buy you or anyone you know a Christmas present. And part of you feels like, well, that's really the ultimate selfishness. Or part of you feels like, well, this is confusing. This is a ritual that we've all become accustomed to, and why are you being so hard-nosed and staying on the outside of it? And so there is no gift for you or anyone else from this one. Not one. That one might get some, but there are none under the tree from that one. But when that one comes to the party, he has not violated any of his own intentions. He has managed to stay fully connected to source energy. What you think of him has not dissuaded him at all from his loving intent. He's tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And the gift that he gives you, we promise you, is far greater than anything that he could have wrapped and put under the tree. That is all any of us have to give any. It feels that you get wrapped up in all of these material things, and certainly the material things are a big part of your physical experience. But that which you have to give, and that which you have always had to give, and that which you only always have to give, is the true energy of that which you are. And anything that it takes to hold yourself in that connection is really worth doing. Now, what the art of allowing is really about is finding ways under any and all conditions to stay in that light. In other words, getting to the place that no matter what anybody else is doing, I still stay connected. No matter even what they think about me, I still stay connected. The whole world could condemn that rascal who doesn't give anybody any presents. And if he's wise enough to not give a rip what any of you think, then he can still stay connected. While the whole world could use him as their excuse not to be connected, he still, the greatest culprit of all, remains connected to source energy. You can tell you have really reached the place of allowing when you're able to allow others even when they're not allowing you. We began earlier talking a little bit about underlying feeling of unworthiness. And it's a word that people throw around a lot, but the reason that we want to put a little spotlight on it for just a moment is because when you are connected to your source energy and the whole of you is flowing through, you are liquid love. You love yourself, in which case your body thrives. You love others, in which case they benefit by being in your presence or in your gaze. In other words, when you are allowing who you really are to flow through you, you are like a breath of fresh air. You are healing energy. You are clarifying energy. You are God force, physically embodied, everywhere you go.
That's pretty delicious.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
So that brings me to the next part.
Yes.
You spoke about at one time how being in that creative place of being a deliberate creator is extraordinary. And what's only more extraordinary is doing it with another person.
Co-creating.
Co-creating.
Two people, both connected to source energy, in an attitude of positive expectation, combining their desires. Yes.
So what is the best way to do that and nourish this idea of selfishness between the two people?
By letting nothing be more important than that you feel good. You have to honor your own personal selfish nature and let the other one make their own decisions about all things. Because the minute that you look at the other in judgment about what they're doing or not doing, you've lost your connection. And now you're out of the game and until you find a way to regain your connection. And so the answer is the same as when you're independently creating. Nothing is more important than that I feel good. Nothing is more important than that I'm connected to source energy. I love you, sweet partner, but there is nothing that you are doing that is important enough to me that I would risk losing my connection to source energy. It's all about allowing. Now let's talk about allowing, because some people still think that allowing means tolerating. Some people think that when we talk about allowing, it means look at somebody's behavior that just irritates the life out of you. There are not much truer words than that. Irritation does sort of pinch the life out of you temporarily. And enduring it or allowing it or not trying to stop it, where that is more like tolerating. What allowing is, allowing what? Allowing source energy to flow through me. Allowing clarity. Allowing stamina. Allowing well-being. In other words, allowing the source to flow through me. That's what allowing is. Allowing source to flow through me. So when you are in the state of allowing, it means that you are so practiced at choosing things that allow source energy that when somebody tries to take you down a conversation that if you focus there very long, you are not allowing source energy, you quickly pull yourself back. Even though they may be rambling on, you are doing your best to find thoughts that allow. Every time you are alone, you are doing such a good job of practicing the words or the memories that allow the energy to flow, that it's not an easy thing for somebody to pull you into a place that does not allow it. An allower is one who likes to feel good, who likes so much to feel good that you practice it every chance you get, so that even in situations where it's not even logical that you feel good, you still do. An allower is usually very playful, someone who is ready to laugh at everything. An allower usually has a strong basis of understanding of well-being, and that's where your inner being comes in. That's where we come in. That's why we keep saying to you, you want to step back into a more general place, away from the specifics that might be troubling you, and as you step back into the more general place, you will find that overall feeling of well-being. For example, because we know that life is eternal, and we know that there is no ending to that which you are about, if one of you is killed in an earthquake, or crashes your plane into another and falls into the ocean, or any number of other very creative ways you have found to make your exit into the non-physical, because we know the whole picture, we grieve not a moment for any of you. But from your more short-sighted